Hey, this is Tim here with Expert Power Wash. Got a brand new Portlandian trailer here behind me I want to show you guys. We added a few extras. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'll give you a full tour. All right, let's take a look. This is the Portlandian 5x8 pressure wash and soft wash trailer. We did a couple extras to this and I'll show you what those things are. Here's the heart of it here. The main extra that we added here is a 4-stage pure water window cleaning system, and that goes out to a reel. I'll explain all that here in just a few minutes, but just to give you an overview of everything that's on this trailer. I'm going to jump into all the details. This will be an unedited video, so you'll see my word fumblings and things like that, but I want to jump in and show you all the details. When we build a pressure washing trailer, we don't just build a production model and try to sell it and compete with everybody that's the cheapest. There's a lot that goes into these. So this, we'll start with the trailer itself. This is a custom built Eagle trailer. This is a local to us company. You can see right there, made in Oregon. This company's been around since 1988. So a really good trailer manufacturer, the Eagle series. If you look at the top tube, on these ones here, this particular model that they build it in an 1.5-inch square tube. We said no, we want 2-inch on this, so super heavy duty wood decking, just an overall solid trailer. You have the 15-inch rims, all LED lights. Our trailers come with warranties. We've used a couple different trailer manufacturers over the years, and this being number one local to us, and the warranties that they provide, and being able to just walk down to their office and sit and talk with them and let them know exactly what we're looking for. It's nice to have that local, and we have that with this trailer manufacturer. So we are a full trailer dealer as well with Eagle. So if you're looking for something, a certain particular trailer, and it has to be to a certain spec, let us know. Likely we can get one of those done for you guys. Just be aware, and we get a lot of people that call us and they want endless customizations, and we love doing that. We're not necessarily a production builder, but just keep in mind that cost does go up. Customizations, when you're building things in bulk or in quantities, a lot of times that's where the cost goes down, and that's another principle that we kind of apply to what we're doing here. We're not production building here. We're building custom to whatever your needs are, one trailer, one skid at a time. So now I'm done with that little rant. Let's jump into this trailer here. So we'll start with the pressure washer. This is a 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer. This is the Honda. Sometimes we get these in black. They've been coming in black lately. Sometimes they come in red. These look pretty cool. They're kind of sleek. Give you a front view there, the Honda GX390. This is pretty much bulletproof as far as the machine. It is an electric start. I'll show you a couple different things on this that makes this particular machine different. It's not necessarily a production model like one of those belt drives over there. We kind of go the extra mile when we deal with pressure washers on our builds. So you got the general pump, gear drive unit. We have the larger recharging system on here. That is another many times overlooked little addition that we put on ours. We have the K7 unloader. Of course, that is block mounted. What I mean by that, the unloader is usually here, and this relocates, and it's sitting down on the base through a block there, and that is screwed into the base. That's what you call a block mounted K7 unloader. Also, with taking the unloader off of the pump, it reduces the vibration and possible breakage. But going to an unloader like this, it's a soft pull unloader, which means when you pull the trigger of the pressure washing gun, it's not going to jolt in your hand like a lot of pressure washers do. So you can see, like, give you a quick example here. So these are just belt drives on wheels. Typically what you're going to see is a VRT3 unloader. So it's that one right there. Those are trap pressure unloaders. So when you pull the trigger, it's going to jump on you, and you're always going to have pressure trapped in the line. The way that we do them, or at least we prefer to do them unless the customer specifically asks us for a trap pressure unloader, we build them like this. So we really like this system. You can see everything's plumbed up really good. We use, like even this clamp right here, this is a special clamp out of the UK. Costs about 10 bucks a clamp, but we never deal with leakage. It fits on here perfectly. It's full stainless steel. The screw's full stainless steel. So it's just little things like that. Another thing that we do here is we pull off the stock, if I can get my fingers, we pull off the stock wires that are on these, and we convert them out to USA made 3M heat shrinked. This is pure tinned plated lug here. Everything is, every little thing that we can do to make these things better, that's what we're doing. We go around into where the pressure washer pulls out of the buffer tank. So on this one, you have a 100-gallon water buffer tank and then a 100-gallon chem tank. We really like this setup. You're going to have lots of capacity for cleaning. You're going to be able to bring a lot of bleach and not have to refill this thing over and over again, especially on larger projects. So 1-inch crush-proof hose pulling out of the T-strainer filter. Again, here's another one of those clamps. These little things add up, but it makes the build a lot better. You take a look at our tank straps here. These are 1/4-inch aluminum. Super, super beefy. You could use straps. I've seen people like ratchet strap these things. All those things are long-term a no-go. 7-gallon soap tank. We'll get into kind of how things are ran when we get over to the other side. You can kind of see the top of the tank. The bypass for the pressure washer is going in here. So this is a Sweepin 90 stainless steel, all banjo fittings. There's cheaper manufacturers of these particular plumbing parts. Starting to see a lot more of those floating around just because they're cheaper. We're not going to budge on our plumbing. I think that is one of the major breaking points that I see over the last several years when we've built these, when we've ran these. I used to personally be on a truck day in and day out. So a lot of our build comes from out in the field, things breaking, having to come back to the shop. You know, what can we do better? I'm probably an over-analyzer, and that goes a long ways when we start building equipment, because I want to build things so they're not going to break down or at least reduce the ability of it breaking down. And I'll show you some of the plumbing there when we get on the other side, and those redundancies and things that we've put into this build to make it just kind of a step above. Let's talk about this. This is a pure water window cleaning system, which means the garden line is going to go into it. It's going to force through. Let me get in a little bit closer, show you guys how that works. So this is a sediment filter. This is a carbon filter. So the way that this is plumbed, it's all going to flow through here. And then this is the RO. Out of the RO, it's going to come to the DI. And then out of the DI, it's going to go to the hose reel. So that top hose reel right there, that's going to go out to a water-fed pole. So something like one of these with a soft brush on it. This takes like a 5/16 hose. I got some here. So this is a 5/16, but before you run it to that, one little tip is run some 3/8 hose. Our customer is going to install that themselves. Go around the back here. Got the nice big gate. We can include these or leave the gate off. Many people like the gate because they put advertising and things on the back. When you do that, you can also put little holders to where you can put your hand tools, your pressure washing wands, you know, things like that. Let's talk about these reels. So like I said, the top one is going to be for water-fed pool hose, and then the bottom there is the garden. These reels, these are our brand new reels, and they're very, very popular. As you can see, that whole top shelf up there is our expert reels. They're going on all of our builds now. A couple things that make these stand out a little bit different than some of the other ones like Titans. These are full stainless, but they're not just the regular stainless, they're 316. This manifold, which is the pipe that runs through the hose reel, that's 316 stainless steel. If you look at the way that the mounting brackets are on these are a lot thicker. These are 316 stainless. Let's see if I got one I can show you. Let's take a look over here. I'll see if this will even come through in the video. So if you go in and you look, there's a bandit. You can kind of see how that's secured right there. It works, but it's not as stout. Let's look at a, let's see if we can look at a Titan. Yeah, it's going to be a lot different. Let's go back over to the trailer. You see how we have the stop brake on here, and then we have the super, super thick mounting system that holds that manifold into place. So like I said, all 316 stainless. Let me go back out here. I got this zoomed in. Full frame aluminum hose reel, 316 stainless hardware holding this thing together. Like I said, this is the manifold, and typically what you're going to see is this is screwed in. If you can see that pipe back there, this is screwed in. If you feel along the backside here, if you get one of these from us, this is actually welded. So this is a common leaking point on hose reels. It's common that it breaks over here. So this thing is just built stout, and it represents the way that we want to do things here. We've got our branding there, put into the reel. If you look all the way around it, it's just a heavy duty reel. There's some electrics coming out later, probably 2025. We'll get to those when they come out, but right now we just have the manual reels, and if you choose electric, then our choice is Titans. We really like the Titans. So stack kit on these. If you look at how heavy duty these are, 1/4 inch, 316 stainless. Really nice system there. You can look at the bracing, the way that we have these mounted in. So we're using some heavy duty 1/4 inch mounting brackets there on the back side of the reels. You can see that's our drain hose that we have down here. So we'll look at a few things down here on the trailer. So we have a 1-inch drain coming out the bottom. Again, all banjo fittings, all polypropylene. You see another one of those clamps there. You can tell we really like those clamps. We put just a regular one on the this side here, but in general, let's talk about these clamps. So we use Dixon. If anybody is wanting a little tip on hose clamps, they're the HSS series, and then if you go with the smaller ones, they're the excuse me, they are the MAH version. So what you want to look out for with stainless or with hose clamps in general. Let's look at one over here. Many times Home Depot ones, hardware store ones, the ones you get on Amazon, this is all stainless here. So it qualifies as a stainless clamp. The problem, this is a zinc plated screw. On most of the hose clamps that say that they're stainless, this rusts out, this does not, and then you have a crappy looking clamp. So yeah, they're $2-3 a clamp, but in the end, you're getting a better piece of equipment. So it's those little details that we dive down into and make sure that we're getting you good stuff when we're building these things for you. I know that might be a little bit in the weeds as far as hose clamps, but every little thing matters. It makes a big difference. When we plumb up the hose reels with hose, these are 45s. In here, you'll have a hose reel whip line. Those are on our website. Check them out. What it does is you can actually hook up your hose and not have to reel it out all the way, and you don't have a kink at this point. So a 45 helps, but we have a particular 18-inch hose that connects here that keeps this from kinking. Those are just little things that most wouldn't think of, or if you're home building something like this, all those little quirks like that, we've kind of, over the years, we've solved those little things to make this thing work as it should. Let's look at the plumbing. So if you look at the way we have these are called uniseals. The hose goes all the way down through here and then goes into a slotted PVC filter. So you don't want any metal in here, no clamps when you're holding this stuff. See if I can get up here, possibly give you guys a shot of what the tanks look like in here, or the plumbing. One of the biggest problems I see people do is they will put a clamp down there at the end of that filter. And all you have to do, it's going to be under liquid anyways. You just heat up the end of the hose, push it onto the barb, and then you got a piece of PVC that's holding it into the bottom. So one, I see them float to the top, and if it floats to the top, it's going to pull air. And number two, I see people put clamps on them. What happens is that reacts with the bleach. It turns the bleach black, which ruins the bleach, the strength of the bleach. The metal reacts with the bleach, and it just an overall bad deal. I have a video on the channel here somewhere if you want to look for it. I did a full video on a tank that we had to clean out where a customer had, even stainless, it doesn't matter. When it's submerged in bleach over time, it's just a bad deal. So you can see how that's coming through the tank there. There's no breaking point. So a long time ago, we used to use bulkheads, and you'd have it looks cool. It's kind of like this, a bulkhead, and then it has a hose that goes to it, and then you have another barb underneath, or a stick that's screwed into it, and then it goes into the bottom. The problem with that, as the liquid goes back and forth like that, it sways that, and the pipe that's under there is going to crack. I've seen it so many times. So that's why we switched to a system like this. There's nothing to break here. So this one right here, there is a bulkhead in there, but what's under there is a Hudson float valve. So as the water fills up, see if I can show you. There's some more of the plumbing. You can see that little gray piece. So as the water fills up, it hits the bottom of that, and then it shuts off the water. So you can have your water continuously run as you're using it, and the water levels go down. It's going to allow that Hudson float valve to release, and then water will continue to fill the tanks. All right, let's talk about the soft wash system here. So this is our mixing system. So one line is running to the water, one line runs to the soap. So obviously water here, and then soap, that's going to run to the soap tank over there, that 7-gallon tank, and then chem, and that runs obviously to the bleach tanks. But what we've done here is something a little bit different. So if you look at where that chem line's running to, it's running to, I'm trying to look through the phone here. So it's running into here, and it's running to a 3-way. So this one continues on into the bleach tank, but we have the ability to send this to water. So what that does, when you want to rinse the system out, instead of leaving super corrosive bleach in your mixing system, turn this all the way on, turn this off. This is usually on all the way anyways, but when you have this flipped down into this position, we have the water sticker there, and then we have chem here. So when this goes up like this, it's going to pull from the bleach tank. When it goes down, it's going to pull from the water tank. So like I was saying, why that's important is you're able to take this valve here that is bleach and pull fresh water through there, not pulling anything here, pulling fresh water. I've seen people rinse these out to where there's no valve here, and they'll turn this off. And what that does is it allows you to rinse the pump there on the other side, but then you have trapped corrosive bleach in that whole metering system. A lot of times the metering valves is not going to be affected. It's going to be this check valve right here. And we use upgraded check valves. We use Hastelloy, which is stronger than the stainless. That is one other thing to look out for if you guys are thinking about building something like this yourself. These valves look exactly the same as a regular stainless. And a lot of vendors will sell regular stainless check valves, and they're not going to last as long. And these ones are, I don't remember, like $3 or $4 more. It's just one of those little things that's $3 or $4 worth it to make your equipment last a little bit longer. We think so, and that's why we use the Hastelloy. Another thing we've done here, this is 3/4. This is 3/4. Of course, this is 1/2 inch. You got better flow going in through those valve systems. So you got 3/4 and 3/4, and then 1/2 inch, and then that's all going into the mixing block, and then going back to the pump there. The pump that's going to the suction side, and then that's pushing out to the hose reel, which contains the soft wash hose over here. This has 200 feet. We have our high quality application gun here with the stainless steel nozzles. So this is called a J-rod, has 4 different nozzles on here. you're able to select either a 0 degree, 15 degree, 25 degree, or 40 degree. So what I mean by degrees, those are patterns. Obviously a 40 degree is going to be a lot wider than, say, like a 15 degree. Another thing, these are crimped. See, a lot of times people will use a hose barb and then like a cheap hose clamp. You're guaranteed going to have a failure there at the gun over time. These are crimped, so you're not going to have any leaks here, and then it's screwed actually into the gun. This makes it really nice if you drop this gun or you happen to damage it or you have a mishap, you're able just to unscrew it here, put a new gun on. We sell just the bodies for that, so you don't have to buy all the extra stainless. So you can see here we have a stainless quick connect on there. So that's all set up like it should. Of course, the expert reels there. These are all 12-inch reels, if I didn't say that. So 2 12s there, 2 12s there. Like I said, 200 feet and then 200 feet here. As far as the pressure washing hose, we're not using the cheap stuff. So this has a burst rate of 10,625. This stuff is rated for hot water. See, 310 degrees. This is a really nice smooth jacket, non-marking, basically the top of the line hose that you can get. And I'll show you what other people are using that I see used commonly in the industry. So that's our Fierce Jet there. This is the other alternative, and you can see the difference. This is a wrapped jacket, and it's not as smooth. You can see like the little lines that run sideways there. This is still good hose. I wouldn't sell it if it wasn't, but it is more so like a budget hose. Like if somebody wants to buy hose for 150 bucks, you know, maybe they can't afford the 195 that we charge for the Fierce Jet. We do have that as a good option for them. So hopefully that makes sense on the pressure washing hose. You're not getting cheap stuff on here. We're not trying to hit a budget per se when you're looking at our equipment. As you can see, we could build this a lot cheaper. And I think a lot of times people that are uneducated, that's what they're looking for, is they go all in and they start looking at price, but you're missing some of the most important components. You know, like this is a banjo valve. It's not a Chinese knockoff. These are chemline valves. They're not the Chinese valves on here. Polypropylene block, all aluminum. All right, we'll jump back into it. Dylan was taking the forklift out of the shop here, so we had to pause the video. But getting back in, I believe we were talking about the hose last time here. One thing I didn't talk about here is we have a ball valve swivel. We used to charge for these. These are 125 bucks. So you can see this is a true Mossmatic swivel. This is another thing. There's a lot of Chinese ones going around, especially on Amazon. I ordered one because I wanted to see the difference, and I should have done a video on it, but these have a really nice smooth rotating action to them. On the Chinese one, it even says Mossmatic. So Mossmatic, if you're watching this video, heads up. There's a lot of copies out there and they're putting the Mossmatic logo on it, but it was really catchy. You could feel it as it rotated around. It was almost like you could feel the ball bearing system in it catching as it rotated around. So guys, we're not going to build something that's going to be junk, and we're not going to use cheap parts. You know, if you look at this system, Mossmatic, this is full stainless. Even on here, this is stainless. And then we have a stainless male end there. This quick connects off, so you can pull this whole system off. Why people like these is if you're going from the gun to the surface cleaner, you can quickly just turn this off, switch it, and you don't have to run back to the trailer, turn the machine off. You're able to make those changes right there. Whether you're behind the house or little ways behind or away from the pressure washing trailer. Excuse me. Another quick overview. Marine grade battery. There's an interstate battery in there. No cheap batteries. that is a, like I said, marine grade 24 DC. The reason why you want to use a 24 or a marine grade battery is they're made to be recharged. They can be ran down. You can't use a regular car battery on these. But look at the, one of the things I didn't get into is, look at all the wiring. The way that everything's ran, everything is clean. It goes along the side there. This is USA made wiring, pure strand copper. So kind of a little unknown fact about wiring, especially with stuff you get off Amazon. Don't get me wrong, I love Amazon. I mentioned that a couple times. We get a lot of Amazon stuff, but when you're dealing with equipment, stuff like this, these are certain things that you don't want to order off of Amazon. Excuse me. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the wiring, it has filler material to it. So copper is more expensive. And if you can add filler material, even though it is 10 gauge or 6 gauge, 8 gauge, whatever it may be, your current, me not being an electrician and explaining this kind of in layman terms, your current's not going to be able to conduct as fast or efficiently when you're conducting through filler materials versus like a pure copper. So hopefully that all makes sense. If you look at, even in here, we're using SAE plugs, so those are all wired in. We have our heavy duty switch. If you look at the, listen to the action of this, real nice sounding pump. These are heavy duty. We haven't had a switch go out yet. We probably will now that I said that, but we got probably over 300 of these switches out in the field. They're just great, tried and true. Again, USA made quality switches, all stainless steel screws in there. When we put these pumps on the plate, these are mounted on a plate to where they're easy to take off. So you see how there's another nut behind that pump holding that peg on there? So if you ever have an issue with the pump, we've set these up so they can be quickly taken off of the plate and changed out. Down here, these are quick connect barbs. So you move, kind of leaning over the trailer here, you move these up, pull this out, and then you can easily switch out that pump. Pump change should only take you 5 minutes or less out in the field. And that's just another one of those things that the way we build these things, we want it to be easy to maintenance, easy to run. Because at the end of the day, you're just out there trying to make money. You don't want to have to be working on your equipment. Again, just give you a quick overview. On one of my other videos, somebody wanted to make a comment like, really, no spare tire, single axle? Well, there you go. It's just been removed off the trailer for the video. There's a spare tire. All right, guys, appreciate you watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit the subscribe button. Probably a lot of you guys watching this video are already subscribed, but we put out lots of shorts, just little things that we're doing around the shop. Hit that subscribe button, stay connected, hit the like button if you like. If you don't, I don't really care. I don't think it really does anything anymore. But I'll put my contact information down below. We are located out in the South Portland area. Anybody that's familiar with this area, there's a lot of little small towns around Portland. We are about 10 minutes south of Portland in a little town called Oregon City. We have a cool museum out here. It is actually the end of the Oregon Trail. So give us a holler. Let us know if we can help you get started in your business, build a trailer for you, build a skid. Like I said, we have lots of different builds on our channel. Take a look at that. There's about 300 videos now, I think. If you go way back, retro, back when we started making videos, 2017, 18, you'll see one of the very first trailers that I built. This is me knowing nothing, just studying, never worked. Well, I guess I worked when I was 18 out in the field pressure washing. That was a long time ago, but professionally, when we started this channel, I'd never built anything like this before, and over the years and through the just trial and error out in the field, we are now fully building pressure washing trailers and skids and all kinds of equipment. And a lot of this knowledge and where we started came from the field. So that's how we build our equipment. It's built from knowledge in the field, years of washing, to be able to put together something that's going to work for you as well. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Contact information will be down below. Let's get connected if you need anything, and I appreciate you viewing the video.